Hello again, students, and welcome to another lesson using Autodesk Inventor Professional 2022. In this lesson, I'm going to show you how to make a Duplo, which is compatible with real Duplos if you should ever decide to 3D print it. And also, I'm going to show you how to customize it. In this case, I'll put a little rocket on top of my Duplo. So without further ado, let's begin by starting the Autodesk Inventor interface, and then I'm going to select Start Working. And to remove this interior window, I just move to the right and click the X to get rid of that. Now I'm going to go New and create a standard IPT and then select Create. Once this light gray interior working window appears, start a 2D sketch on the XY plane. I'm going to create a rectangle, and I've already measured it with a micrometer. The dimension is 1.236. Then I'll hit the Tab key by 1.236. Hit the Enter key. I'm also going to use the dimension tool to select the center to the top. Click, drag it off, click, and that dimension is 0.618. Enter it. And also from the center to the left, click. Maybe drag it up to the top here, click. And that dimension again is 0.618. And that will make your square exactly centered on the origin. Hit Escape, Finish Sketch. Extrude, and I like to extrude away from me, so I select the second direction, and then I'll change the distance A to 0.748. So extrude 0.748, hit Enter. Okay. Now what I'm going to do is turn the rotation cube to where I'm looking at the back of my Duplo, and then start a 2D sketch on the back face. Click. And I'm going to use the Project Geometry button. Click. And then when you get the pop-up window, Project Geometry, click. Make sure you make the whole square green, click. And now you have the perimeter selected, so you're going to use offset, and you're going to click on the perimeter, click, drag it in, and the offset is 0.1, which you'll enter in on your keyboard, and then hit Enter. You want to finish sketch. And then extrude the interior square. You can rotate it to see what you're doing, and change the direction to away from you, and the distance A should be 0.695. Okay. Now I'm going to rotate to the top and start a 2D sketch on the top of my Duplo to make the 4 pins. You'll start with a circle, click, and I measured the thing with a micrometer, and it was 0.374. Your diameter, and now I'm going to select it, second circle on the ID, interior dimension, and just put a 0.3 for the diameter for that circle. Now I use the dimension tool to position it. It's got to be 0.3 from all edges. So you want to select the center to the top, click, drag it off to the right, click, and type 0.3 for the dimension. Hit Enter. Select center to the right, click, drag it up, click, and change to 0.3, Enter. Hit the Escape key about 3 times, and to copy this 2 circles, you want to use a marquee, use Control-C to copy it, and then Control-V to again paste it. Grab just the center, and then you can pull, and if you're wise, you'll look for that little dash line, which means you're in alignment with the first set of circles. Now you want to use the dimension tool to select the center to the bottom, click, drag it off to the right, click, change the dimension to 0.3, Enter. And I'm just going to show you from the center to the right side, click, and drag down, click, it's already 0.3, check. Hit Escape, make a marquee, go Control-C, then Control-V, drag your circles, and you'll see that dash line. Let it go, use the dimension tool, select the center to the left, click, drag it down, click, 0.3 is the dimension. And just to be sure, click center to bottom, click, Drag it off to the side. See, it's already 0.3. Hit escape a few times, then make your marquee, then go Control C and then Control V and drag your circles into position. And I can see 2 dashed lines, which I know are in the correct position, but just to show you, I'll select the center to the top, click, click, 0.3, check, and from the center to the left, click, drag it up, 0.3, check. I'm finished, so I'll finish sketch. Extrude, make sure you're hitting the center between the 2 lines and you're close enough that you can select all 4 at once. And then the distance A should be 0.2 for extrusion. Click OK, and there you have a Duplo. Very nice. And I'll just change the color. I always like using a primary color, so I select this default arrow, wait for it to load, and then maybe select the blue wall paint glossy. So there's your Duplo. You can save that, or in my case, I'm going to create a customization, and I'm going to get rid of these. Right-click and delete. And then when you get this pop-up window, just click OK. Your 4 pins will be gone. And the purpose for centering the square originally was so that when I place this plane, it will be right in the center of the brick. So I'm going to create a plane, and that's where I'll rotate and revolve my rocket ship that I'm going to put on the top of my Duplo. I select plane, I move to the left where I see the origin folder, click the plus sign, and look for, in this case, it's going to be the XZ plane, which is facing me. And I'm just going to grab that little yellow circle in the corner and push it momentarily to see if I get the 0, 0, 0 to pop up, and then click the checkbox. And then I'm actually going to look at it from side on to verify that it is in center, and it does look centered. Now I'm going to create my rocket. So I'm going to start a 2D sketch on my perimeter line. Click, and that activates it. And I can be assured that if I put an axis line right on my y-axis, and it's 2 inches up, enter, hit escape. That is directly in the center of my brick. I'm going to use my arc tool now to create my rocket fuselage shape. And I'm creating a bit of an arc for that retro rocket appeal. I'm going to use a shape like this to finish it off. I'm also going to use a little rectangle towards the top to give it that extra detail. Once you put a little rectangle up here, what I do is I trim these lines, and that will give you a little separation for your capsule. So now I want to finish sketch and revolve around the axis, which is my y-axis. And then it's fine, so I click OK. And there I have my first, the fuselage. That's the first portion of my rocket. I can use the same plane to create the fins. So I start a 2D sketch. Remember, click on the perimeter line of your work plane to activate it. Click. And then I'll go to the arc tool, and I'm going to create that curved retro fin appeal. And remember, in order to extrude any shape, you're going to have to create a third line to make that a complete shape. So you search out those green spots. Click. See, I've created that fin, and now I'm going to make a mirror image of it by putting a mirror line right on my y-axis here. So I'm putting a little line segment to use as a mirror line. Now that I have one fin and a mirror line, I use the mirror tool, and I highlight with a marquee. You can see that the 3 line segments are selected. So I want to then select the mirror line button, and then my mirror line, and then apply. And there I've created a mirror image of my fin. So I'm going to finish sketch, select extrude, select 1 fin, then 2 fins, and I'm going to select the third option, which is the symmetry option, which will extrude both forward and backward in front of my plane and behind my plane. And the distance is going to be a small 0.05. You can rotate to verify how thick that really is, and it looks fine. So I'll click OK. Now what I want to do is just sort of hide that plane. So I'm going to right click on the perimeter line. So you right click and then turn the checkbox off. For visibility, turn the checkbox off. Click. So the next thing to do is turn my rocket 90 degrees, select the plane tool again, and then look for the plane that faces me. It's the YZ in this case. Click. Yeah, that's right. Click. Once you see that plane, you can go up to the upper corner where you see the little yellow circle, grab it and push it a little bit. Should give you a 000 measurement, and then you'll click check. And if you verify that just before you do any drawing, look, it's right in the center of your rocket. Okay. So now what I want to do is, since extrusion 4 is my fins, I'm going to click the plus sign, and here's the sketch that made those fins. I'm going to right click and make a copy of those fins. Then I'm going to hit the escape key 3 times, 1, 2, 3. And then I'm going to start a 2D sketch on my work plane 2. And here's the perimeter line. Click. It activates it. And then I'm going to right click and paste. And there are my fins. Nothing else to do. Finish sketch, extrude. Here's 1. Here's 2 fins. Make sure you're using direction symmetry. It's already 0.05 inches for distance A, so click OK. You can rotate it around and see the effect that you're getting. You may then right click on your plane and turn visibility off. See the visibility box? You'll just click and hide. You can turn this to where you possibly see top view, it says. That's fine. I would make a screenshot now by going view at the top. You're going to see orthographic, so you want to click that little arrow and select perspective. Then you want to go visual style realistic. Maybe angle it to your preferred angle, and then click ray tracing. Now that's a customized Duplo fit for an A. Once ray tracing is finished, you want to use your method to capture a screenshot. There's a Control-Shift camera option. In my case, I just hit print screen, open paint, paste it, and crop it down. You can customize your Duplo in any way you see fit. Turn in that screenshot for assignment credit. Good luck.